Hi everyone, in this tutorial we're gonna be talking about Vray. First of all, to start Vray or activate Vray, make sure you install Vray plugin and then just go to the render setup and activate Vray from here. Common tab, close the common parameters and open assign renderer. Inside the assign renderer we have the production. I want it to be Vray. In my case I have the 2.4. Okay, so Vray advanced in the 2.4, the production, and active shade I can load my Vray real time, the same version. And that's it. Now I activate Vray. I can see my Vray tabs in here and it says it's the render setup is Vray. Now everything is Vray ready. Second, first of all, I'm gonna do in this scene, I'm gonna add materials. If you go in here and I go shaded, you see there's no materials, it's just a gray material. I'm gonna go to the material editor, press M for the shortcut, and I'm gonna activate my Vray materials. Just select any Vray material, let's say this one, and I'm gonna make sure this is gonna be my couch. And I'm gonna select my couch, assign this material to the couch, and I'm gonna make sure that's going to be, let's say, just like royal red, something like that. I want it to be a bit reflective, so I'm gonna assign the reflection just a bit, let's say 10. I want to make sure it's be affected by Fresnel reflection, and I'm gonna add some reflection glossiness, which is 0.9, which will make the reflection a bit blurry, and I think that's it for this. So now I added material. Then I'm gonna add another material for the curtains. So this and this, I'm gonna add a material. Make sure instead of a color, instead of having a color, I'm gonna add an image. So go from here, okay, just make sure you go to maps, bitmap, and I'm gonna go load a bitmap from my computer. I'm gonna go into my libraries and I'm gonna go into my folder and I'm gonna go select, let's say, something, let's say that would go good with the red. So I'm gonna assign this material to the curtains. I'm gonna press show shaded material in viewport and I can see my viewport, but it's a bit squashed in here. So I'm gonna go into the curtains, make sure I'm gonna add a new UVW map. I think it's broken, and I will go to the gizmo, and in here I can scale a bit to make it a bit thinner. So I think that's looking much better. So these are my curtains, okay, and I will do the let's say the border of the window. Okay, so I'm gonna go material, window, frame. I'm gonna name each piece and make sure it's gonna be, let's say, black metallic, so it's gonna be a bit reflective, maybe a bit more. Okay, Fresnel reflection, and I think it's good, so that's gonna be assigned to this. Okay. Of course, I can just add reflection to everything. For example, I'm gonna go to the window. In the window, okay, I can just add a Vray material, a new Vray material, let's say glass. I'm gonna assign this glass to the window and make sure, just wanna make sure that this is the window. Okay, so this is my window. Okay, I'm just confused. Okay, so that's my window, and just had a small error. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna try to see what's visible in this. I can see all the materials, okay, if they're good or not, but what I want exactly is basically I need to put the lights. So instead of having a plain models, I'm just gonna go on my top view and I'm gonna create lights. Instead of photometric light or standard lights, I'm gonna go V-Ray lights, and in this case I'm gonna create a V-Ray sun. So this is a V-Ray sun. Ask me for V-Ray sky, I'm gonna say yes and yes. This is my V-Ray sky, V-Ray sun. It's on the floor. I'm just gonna lift it to have this kind of effect. And now, because I've inserted a V-Ray sun, if I render the sky, the sun is gonna be so strong it's gonna be blown out. So that's why I need to add a physical V-Ray camera. So go to the cameras, V-Ray cameras and V-Ray physical camera. I'm just gonna place it in the middle of the room in here and just gonna move it something like here and make sure I'm gonna see through it, and I'm gonna push my camera a bit forward. I think that's kinda good. I have good framing now, and now because I have my physical camera and I render, you can see it's totally different now. The render is a bit different. So what I'm going to do, basically I'm just gonna make my camera a bit lower and something like that. So to have the light more clear, and I'm just gonna make my light a bit higher and a quick render, and as you can see I can see the sky and I can see the sun in here and everything is perfect. Now I have my direct illumination. Second step, what I need to do, basically I need to turn on my indirect illumination so that the light will go inside and bounce on the floor, and then it will fill up all the black areas. So to do this, I need to go to the render tab again, to the render setup, and now I need to activate my indirect illumination. I turn it on. I'm gonna go to first primary engine, radiance map, secondary engine, light cache, and inside the tabs I'm gonna go low res to make it fast. I'm gonna go very low for the radiance map, and light cache I'm gonna add, let's say, 100 subdivisions. That's it. In the V-Ray tab I can go to the image sampler and add 1.2 to make it faster, and the settings I'm gonna make it 0.1 to have less force for the noise. And now I'm gonna render it up, and you can see this scene is gonna be shifted a bit into more light. I think just a bit in here. So now I have this indirect illumination filling up the space. If it's still dark in my case, okay, I can always fake a light. So I'm gonna just throw a light in my case, okay, no need for this all the time. I'm just gonna throw a light, and I'm gonna put a V-Ray light on just top of the ceiling, and just wanna make sure this light's gonna be emitting enough intensity, and the color is gonna be, I'm gonna use temperature, and I'm gonna use 6000, and let's try. So I'm gonna add a bit of light. Okay, I think this is much better. I can always add more light. If I want more intensity, I can add twice the light, let's say 200. And now my scene is filled in a better lighting. Something like that, which is good. Now, if I don't want to see the light, in my case I cannot see it either ways, but I can turn off, make it invisible. Or in this case, I don't want to see this light in here in the reflection. I'm going to turn it off from the reflection. And now it's going to be a fake light, which seems as if it's coming from outside, but I'm having a small fill light from the inside. And I cannot see any reflections in here. So now my scene is ready. Everything is good. Now I want to animate my camera. gonna select my camera, just gonna make sure I'm working with PAL, and I'm gonna work 4 seconds of animation. So from 0, I'm gonna turn on auto key. I'm gonna have my camera here. On the frame of 100, I'm gonna have my camera here, and that's it. So now I have my animation going from this side to this side. Now I can set up my render to render it out. Make sure I'm gonna have definitely my high res resolution, which is going to be my image sampler at least 3 and 6. In direct illumination, I'm gonna have my irradiance map to be set as high, and at least 1500 subdivision for light cache, and my settings should be 0.005 at least. So that's like high resolution render. I'm gonna go to the comment tab now. I'm gonna be animating, so I'm gonna be rendering all the animation from 0 to 100, my active time segment, which is all the animation in here. My resolution is going to be PAL, for example, or whatever you need or asked about. And I'm gonna save my file on my desktop, let's say, and I'm gonna save it as an AVI file, call it test animation. That's it. I'm gonna save it, and after that I'm gonna be rendering this out. So when I render, it's gonna start rendering from frame 0. As you can see, it's building the light cache, and it's gonna take a lot of time. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cancel it now. I'm just gonna make sure I'm gonna set my low res renders for now, even though they will be a bit flickery and not really good, but I'll save a lot of time. So I'm gonna make it very low, and I'm gonna make it 0.1 for the DMC sampler, and that's it. Now I can render it. I'm gonna override, so it's gonna take less time. So as you can see here, it's rendering frame 0, frame 1 out of 101 frames. So in here it's gonna tell us the last frame, it took 10 seconds, and I need 17 minutes to finish overall the scene. So now I'm gonna pause my video, and then we'll show you the end result. We're back again. The animation is done, the rendering is done. It took around 19 minutes, and we have the 100 frames rendered, and you can see it in here. I can play it, and as you can see, I can have the camera animation going from this side to this side very smoothly, but definitely you can see a lot of artifacts in here going on because of the low quality of rendering. The light cache is not really caching a little good under a radiance map. So definitely if you do with a high res, it should be smoother, and that's it. So thank you for listening, and hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Have a good day.